Today I am building a BLOXBURG house, but each room is a completely different challenge. From neon overload to building completely blind. I've given myself 8 wild restrictions, including no rotating, no deleting, and building a room with only $1,000. Will this house turn out amazing or will it be chaotic? We'll find out. If you're new here, hi, my name is Chris and I upload every Wednesday and Friday. If I start talking weird, it's because I have my retainer on, but that's besides the point. Let's get straight into the video. How this is gonna work is that I'm gonna be spinning a wheel and it's gonna tell me which challenge I should take on. Okay, coming straight into build mode. First room I'm gonna start with is the living room. Okay, let's see what we got for the living room. I'm genuinely scared. How am I gonna blindly place? Okay, this is the only one I was genuinely scared of. So what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna select the item that we're gonna place, but every time I try to place it, I'm gonna close my eyes. Just so you guys know I'm not cheating, I'm gonna put my mouse on the right corner, and then I'm just gonna like have the room like this. I guess the first thing we can do, we can just add couches. We'll go to the comfort section. We'll add this couch. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the right corner, and then I'm gonna put the room in the center, and I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm just gonna assume that the room is right here. I gotta move my mouse more. Yo, okay, this is scary. Wait, did I get it? Oh, I'm unable to place. Okay, wait. I placed it outside. Okay, wait, that's not fair. I'm gonna place my mouse in the right corner again. Okay, I'm just gonna hope that this is the center of where the couch is supposed to be. Bro, that takes up the whole center of the room. Okay, I guess we're just gonna have to work with that. The next thing we need to place is a table for a TV. We're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna put this over here in the right in the corner. And I'm gonna keep my eyes shut like this. That's literally in the wall. Does that even count? Okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to keep it like that, unfortunately. Okay, whatever. Anyway, the next thing we need to add, I wanted to add a table back behind the sofa, so we're gonna have to do that. Okay, so we have this table right here, right? Okay, I wanted to add it behind here. That's not even close. This room is already a mess, but we're gonna have to work with it. Since I blindly placed the items, let's just start painting. Okay, the wall trims don't count because they're not items. We're gonna place the wall trims. And then I also want to add these. I'm genuinely scared because I also need to add the lights. Imagine the lights are just gonna be all over the place. I'm gonna have to blindly place the door. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Dude, this is really hard. Okay, but let's just paint the wall trims. I want to paint them industrial white. And then I also want to paint the walls. Also, we're gonna be painted mid gray. And then I'm also gonna add some curtains. So the curtains that I'm gonna add these. These windows are really ugly, but it's the ones that came with the house, so I'm just gonna keep those. Before we paint the couches and stuff, I want to add the lighting. So we'll add the ceiling fan. I want to add this ceiling fan right here because I want to make it really modern inside, and outside it doesn't look like it's gonna be modern, but when you come inside it's gonna be a wow, it's modern. All right, we're gonna place it. I'm gonna place right corner. I'm just gonna assume it's over here. You know, it's not, that's okay, that's not that bad because it's also centered with the couch, so it's not as bad, but guys, it's hitting the wall. Okay, now I also wanted to add the other basic shape lights that we add. I'm gonna set it up, and then I'm gonna grab the block. That's not even close to the right corner. Okay, I can't place there. Bro, if I get this error one more time. That's not even close to the left corner. Okay, I guess we just gotta put these up here then. We gotta work with it, guys. So put that light up there, put it down here, and then just keep placing them. Okay, we also need to add a TV on top of here, which I don't know how that's gonna happen. So we'll add this TV right here. Okay, you know the drill. This is hard. Okay, I had to place it on the floor. I couldn't place it on the table. We also need to add a light right there, and I completely forgot about that. We need to add these circular sleek ceiling lights on top of the basic shape. I don't think we're gonna land that, so we're just gonna try it. Okay, unfortunately I placed it right there. Actually, I think 2 more is fine. Okay, I think 2 more was fine. I don't know where the other one went though. And now that that's done, we can get to coloring the couches and stuff. I'm gonna paint it white and then paint this wood right here. Okay, we'll aim to add like a little cactus on the tiny table. Bro, I did it on the step. All right, let's just paint these. Okay, last but not least, we need to add a door for that bathroom. And in the bathroom, I guess we're just gonna have to put some stairs because we're not gonna put a door. We'll put this one right here, the ladder, because there's no other way to get into the bathroom. And this is the finished result for this bedroom. It's so cute. This challenge genuinely frustrates me, bro. Okay, next up, we have the kitchen. Let's just hope that for the kitchen, we get a good one. A neon kitchen. Oh, we'll see how that one goes. We'll start by adding the wall trim. We also want to add the sliding door and the doors. Next, we need to color the floor. Color it like a tile. And I'll color it the same gray that we colored the living room. Wait, I just realized this is a neon kitchen. We can't make it the same color. Right, okay, by neon, I have to do neon green. Oh, we'll do this green. Oh, this is gonna be annoying. Guys, this is turning into a very lovely kitchen. Jesus. Not even a 10-year-old child can look at this. This is so bright. Next thing we want to do is add the sliding door for the outside. And then we're also going to have to paint that neon. Everything neon. All right, let's just start with the countertops. I'm going to put a countertop right here. And then I'm going to put a stove right here. For the cabinets, I'm going to end up putting the fridge right here. And then put a pantry like right here. The sink is just going to go right here. And then let's get started with the cabinets. Don't forget to also put a fridge. And then we're going to have to paint them neon. This is already... I'm getting tired of it. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Nickelodeon slime. We forgot to add like a little ventilator here. I'm not going to add the glass one because there's no point. So I'm just going to add this one and then we have to paint it neon. All right, let's add kitchen appliances. For the kitchen, we need our seasoning, our paper towels, our spatulas, obviously, our plates, which I'm going to put right here. And then don't forget about the blender, the coffee machine, which I'm going to put right next to it, and the microwave. Okay, and then we're going to have to paint those all neon. We can't paint the paper towels neon because it won't let me. This is such a lovely kitchen, mate. Okay, the dining room is going to be neon because it's in the same exact place as the kitchen. For the dining room, I'm going to add a table right here and then the chairs. And then just to be generous, I'm going to put a bowl of fruit. And then we need to paint these all neon. Last but not least, the doors. The door, I'm going to place this one right here. And then we also have to paint it neon. For the lights, I'm going to be doing the basic shape lights. Guys, this is such a lovely final product. Like, I'm in love with it. All right, we're going to have to clutch our pearls with this one. Yo. Oh, that is so perfect. For the bedroom, I'm just going to do the same wall trim and the same colors, and you know the drill. With very modern houses, they usually just have the same colors in every room, and that's just what I think of. Except, actually, I'm not going to be using the same wall trim. This one's going to be really interesting. I genuinely don't know how I'm going to make a room, but without rotating items. You know the drills with the floor, I'm going to end up painting it like a little tile, like this one, and then darken it. This room is really tiny for a room. Okay, now, for the bed. I don't know what directions the bed already comes in, but I think for the bed, I'm going to do... Look, it already came in that direction. So, okay, I guess we're lucky. This bed is really big for the room, though. And then we'll color the bed, and then let's change the pillows. All right, the next thing we need to add, I kind of wanted to add a TV in here, and I'm going to be adding this same table, and it is already rotated like that. So, for the actual TV, we'll do this one. Okay, all right, this TV is backwards, so I guess we're just going to have a TV backwards. So, the lights, I'm not going to do the basic shapes because I can't rotate. I'm just going to use these circular lights right here. If I added my basic shape lights, this would look so much better. Okay, we'll just add a ceiling fan on top of this light since it kind of looks off. We'll add this ceiling fan right here. We'll add a bedside table right here with a lamp. We'll put this lamp right here. The thing we need to add is a door for the closet. And then I think that's literally all we can do for this room. This room is like really tiny. I can't work with it that much. The next room is the master bedroom. This is most likely going to be my 13th reason, but we'll see. No color. Okay, so I guess we're going to have to do no color. So we're going to use the same wall trim and the same floor, but it says no color. So this room is going to be really weird. For the curtains, we'll use the same long curtains that we were using. These are not my choice of windows. Then we need to add a bed. For the bed, I want to use this bed. It's like kind of like the same bed that we used for the other bedroom, but two of them. Then we don't have space for a nightside table, but we do have space for plants and stuff. We also do have space to like put this like right in front of the bed right here. So I'll add a plant right here and then one right here. Actually, let's delete this plant right here. And then And then we can start adding photo frames with a dresser. So we'll add this right here. And then we'll add a dresser right here too. I'll add this little plant right here with some books. And I genuinely always have trouble like filling in like bookshelves and stuff like that because it's never really my thing. We need to add frames. For the frames, I'm just going to add this tiny one and just keep it simple. And then we also do need to add lights. And I am going to add my fancy basic shape lights. We can't color the lights, so it's just going to have to be this bright and ugly. I also wanted to add like pitsy lights like right here because I thought they would be cute, but I think that's going to be way too bright. Guess this is the finished result for this no color bedroom. It is really extremely ugly. Okay, the last room we need to do in this house is the bathroom. Ooh, black and white bathroom. All right, we're gonna be adding the same trim, and then we'll make the bathroom the same gray. We'll make it the tile, and then we'll darken it a little bit. Okay, for this bathroom, remember that we do not have a door. We have to climb, which means I'm gonna have to remove the roof, but it's okay. So I guess the plumbing, I'm just gonna be adding a bathtub right here. The sink, I'll add right here, and then the toilet. I'm gonna add everything, and then I'm gonna make it black and white. Okay, I genuinely don't know. I've never actually seen a black and white bathroom. We'll add the toilet paper. We gotta add the toothpaste and the toothbrush. I always, for some reason, add like the electric one, and then we'll add the toothpaste. I also always forget that people usually have trash cans in their bathroom. I don't personally have a trash can in my bathroom. I don't know if that's like weird. I just flush the stuff down the toilet. We'll add a rag to dry our hands, and I also wanted to add like a little carpet, so let's just resize it and make it smaller. For the lights, I'm just gonna be using my basic shape lights, and then don't forget your shampoo and conditioner. I'm adding a basic shape right here because I cannot add the shampoo and conditioner. I'll add it like as the shelf like on the wall. Add the conditioner right here, and then now we have our wait, I completely forgot forgot to color it black and white. That was literally the whole point of the challenge. We'll paint the walls black because it would only make sense to paint the walls black, and then we'll paint the items white. So everything has to be white. White, white, white. All right, everything in this room is black and white, and this looks really weird. All right, so I think we are about ready to give this house a tour. You see how this house actually looks normal on the inside, except that see the neon room like right there. All right, before I enter this house, I'm just gonna pretend I'm a realtor. All right, guys, so as soon as you walk in, we have our beautiful living room, and you know, your children could play right here. Just about everybody, you and the family can just relax with a couple beers here. Stepping into the wonderful kitchen where you guys can all have dinner. This color was handpicked by a bunch of rich people. Coming into the amazing master suite, you have the most spacious room ever. Coming into your kids' room, you have the most amazing bedroom, which is technically not smaller than your bathroom. This is your amazing bathroom right here, and it doesn't have a door because the artist thought that this would be the best choice. And there you have it. I'm trying to escape this house. And there you have it. The house is currently listed at $1 million just because of the amazing area. And that's about it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, have a good day or night. Peace.